What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the world according to Briggs. Are home prices in your area blowing up? You probably said yes, and trust me, you're not alone. The entire country is seeing this. I mean, as long as you don't share a property line with a Dingo farm or an asbestos dump site, your prices have gone up. Today, we're just looking at states where home prices have gained the most equity on average, and what the median listing price is currently. I found the amount that these homes have gained over the last year kind of amazing, and that's why I'm making this video. In the future, we'll go over percentages and all that stuff. This one's just kind of basic. We're just looking at the prices. There are several reasons home prices are going up, and they're not all just that Californians are moving to your neighborhood. Prices are going up since people are leaving the cities and moving to smaller towns and suburbs because of the pandemic. It's kind of chased them out. Lower mortgage rates and income have been on the rise over the last 8 years, so people can actually afford to buy a home or get a down payment in a lot of cases. To give you an idea where these states stand, the average listing price nationwide has gone up by about $49,000, depending on which website you look at, and all the states on this list are well above that. Let's take a look. Number 10, Oregon. You know, Oregon has a bad rap. Everyone just associates everything going on in Portland with the rest of Oregon. It's not a thing. Portland has its problems, but the rest of Oregon is pretty nice. It's still one of the most moved to states in the nation. It used to be like number 1, 2, or 3 for a lot of years. In the last 5 years, it slipped down to like number 7 or 8, depending on what poll you're looking at. And if you don't believe people are moving here, why the price is going up? Home prices in a state don't go up well above most states if the state sucks. The average equity gained over the last 12 months in Oregon is $68,000. The median home listing price currently is $500,000. Number 9, Massachusetts. Home prices in Massachusetts have been going up forever in places like Boston, Cape Cod, New Bedford. All those places have been gaining at a good clip forever. Well, now it's starting to spread out to the more rural communities. On the west side of Massachusetts, I was looking at places like Great Barrington. You had homes there that in the summer of this year were about $500,000. Someone came in, did a couple upgrades, made it a little nicer. Now it's listed for over $1 million. And that's not just a one-off. There's other ones that were sold for like $300,000. Now they're listed for $800,000. But the average equity gained over the last 12 months in Massachusetts is $72,000. The median home listing price is $623,000. Number 8, Montana. Montana's a little unique compared to most of the states on this list. Most of their property comes with a couple acres, so you're getting a little more bang for your buck than you do in other states where you're just getting a house and a neighbor that's 10 feet away. As most of us have learned, having neighbors that close sometimes sucks. I'm lucky. I have decent neighbors. My house I lived before this, oh God, they were horrible. I couldn't stand them. Dude actually put a curse on a tree I had. I'm not even kidding. He wanted a tree gone that was on my property, but it kind of blocked his windows a little bit so he couldn't get that much sunshine. And he asked me if he can knock down this like 80-year-old pine tree out in front of our house. I told him no. I think he was Vietnamese or something like that. I don't know. But I start seeing these little trinkets around my tree, and I asked my other neighbor who was also from that part of the world, and he said, I think he's putting a curse on your tree. It's like, that's great. But in Montana, you don't have to worry about your neighbors putting curses on your trees because you got some property. The average equity gained over the last 12 months in Montana is $73,000. The median home listing price is $529,000. Number 7, Colorado. One of my favorite states, Colorado, has always been a place that people want to move to. I mean, if you like the outdoors, you like fresh air, and you like a lot of beer, this is a great place to live. Oh, and they also have really good people there. I really love the people of Colorado. And stop typing. Yes, sometimes you'll run into people that are just jerks. It happens. Every place has them. My experience, Colorado has decent people. And the homeowners there are getting rich. The average equity gained over the last 12 months is $75,000. The median home listing price in Colorado is $570,000. Now, I will tell you right now, I looked at different websites, real estate websites. Some of the prices vary a little bit, but they're usually around this one. The reason I bring that up, I saw some in Colorado that claimed the average listing price was about $600,000. Number 6, Arizona. The Grand Canyon state has had climbing real estate prices for some time. Ever since retiring Californians found out that this place was kind of cheap to live, they started moving there and prices started going up. Yes, if you can't buy a house in Arizona and you lived in Arizona most of your life, you could blame Californians here. The average equity gained in Arizona over the last 12 months is about $79,000. The median home listing price currently is $449,000. Number 5, Utah. Utah's one of those states where I never really, had a desire to move to. Some people love it. I don't know why. That's just me. We all have our different vibes for states, I got an email on this just the other day, and in case you're one of the people that thinks this, you do not have to be a Mormon to move to Utah. Yeah, someone asked me that in an email the other day. The average equity gained over the last 12 months in Utah is $80,000. The median home listing price is $572,000. Number 4, Hawaii. Living in paradise is not cheap. Every time I look, Hawaii's prices on everything from milk to real estate is going up. The only thing that never seems to really go up at a drastic rate is pineapple and Spam. But over the last year, their already high real estate has really gone up. The average equity gained over the last 12 months is $86,000. The median home listing price is $725,000. Keep in mind their median listing price is different from their actual sales price or their actual value. Number 3, Idaho. Idaho is another state that's been hit by the California plague. They're like locusts at this point. They just show up, raise all the prices, start drinking your beer and stealing your women. They're like locust pirates. There are a lot of really nice places to live in Idaho, from their larger cities. They don't have giant cities, but they've got some good-sized cities, to even their small towns. There's a ton of them to choose from. And this is raising the prices. They're not as popular as they were, let's say, 5 years ago. They were up there with Oregon, listed as number 1, 2, or 3, the most moved to states. These days, they've slipped down to about 6, maybe 7, but they're still in the top 10. The average equity gained over the last 12 months is $93,000. The median home listing price is about $530,000. Number 2, Washington State. Washington is another state that's gained a lot of popularity, and I'd say the last decade or so. In the last few years, it started showing up on lists for the best states to move to. Depending on the category you're looking at, they've got a lot of things people want in Washington State. But Washington, just like Oregon and California, is expensive on the west side of the state. It's a lot more reasonable on the east side. The average equity gained over the last 12 months was $102,000. The median home listing price is $572,000. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. There's a link down below. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, California. Buckle up for these prices. As you all know, it is expensive in California. It always has been. Since they found gold there in the 1800s, the prices have been going up in California, from donuts to lap dances to real estate. Like I just said about Washington and Oregon, the west side of the state is twice and sometimes 3 times more expensive than the east side of the state. If you start looking at really some of the nicer neighborhoods, it's like 20 times more expensive. The reason for this, a lot more people want to live near the ocean than they do the middle of the frickin' desert. The average equity gained over the last 12 months in California is $115,000. The median home listing price is $725,000. Big reason for the exodus of a lot of longtime Californians is that price. California is just not worth it to a lot of people anymore. But they are still gaining population. It's turned into a trickle, not nearly as much as it's been in the past, but people are still moving to California more than they're moving out. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a good day, and be nice to each other.